Good day, eBlock. Welcome to your first task on SketchUp. In this task, we're going to construct a workbench. You are welcome to go ahead and read the scenario and the instructions in your own time. These videos will strictly just be assisting you step by step in completing and assembling each part of this workbench. In this video, we're going to look at how to construct the uprights, the legs for the workbench. So what we want to do is scroll down until you get to workbench step 1, which includes the legs. It gives us all the dimensions required to construct the legs on SketchUp. So we're going to go across to SketchUp. Make sure you open it. You've downloaded SketchUp from SketchUp Web and it's on your desktop. So you're going to click and you're going to open up SketchUp, and the very first thing we do when we're on SketchUp is to go to the little eye on the bottom right hand side of your screen, which is your model info, and you're going to make sure that you're going to go to length units, and you're going to make sure that you select millimeters as your format, 0.0 millimeters, for your display precision, and we want length snapping to be on 1, and then we are ready to start constructing. Very quickly, to move yourself around your model space, it's important that you use the following commands, otherwise you might get yourself a little bit frustrated. You will need a mouse to execute the movements and not get frustrated. Alternatively, you can use your pens, but they may not execute the functions that you want as smoothly. So to orientate yourself around around your workspace, if you have a mouse, you'll click the scroll button down. You won't scroll up and down, you'll click it down, and you'll see what it does is it takes you into orbit command, and you are able to rotate yourself around your model space. Alternatively, you can hold down Shift and the scroll button, and then you can pan left to right. Now you'll see everything pans within perspective. Okay, so let's move on to the first part of the design, and that's going to be the workbench legs. What we need first is to have a look at the shape of this, and you can see it's a square or rectangular prism with the sides being 100 by 100. So what we're going to do is go back to SketchUp, and we're going to scroll so we can look from a more oblique sort of vertical perspective. So we're going to scroll around until we almost have a look on top of tie here, and we're going to take our rectangular command, we're going to click on that, or alternatively we're going to press R, so spacebar always takes you out of your command, by the way. So if I click R, that's the shortcut to get the command. And we're going to click anywhere on the ground space here. So we're going to just click and release. Remember, click and release. So click, release, and then I'm going to drag out, and we know that the footing or the measurements will be 100. And if you look at the bottom right hand screen, as I type in 100, you'll see it starts to, in the dimensions tab at the bottom, it starts to enter. So then I'm going to go by, which is going to be comma, and then another 100. So we're going to go, let me repeat that for you. We're going to click, drag, release the mouse, 100 by 100, comma, not point, 100, comma, 100, enter. That gives us the base edge, if you like, of the or base as aspect of the legs. Then we're going to use the command push pull. So we're going to click on push pull. But first, before we enter that command, we need to know how high we push pull this leg. Well, you can see that it's a total of 870 to this edge here, and then it's another 30 to get to the top of this face over here. So that's 870 plus 30, that's a total of 900. So I'm going to come to SketchUp, I'm going to hover over this face that I want to pull up, I'm going to click and release, and then I'm going to drag my mouse up, and you'll see it starts to add volume to the object. So we want to tell SketchUp that we want to move upwards, release the mouse now, and type in 900, enter. Right? Now we have the total height of the leg. Now I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to rotate so that I can get a nice vertical aspect on this leg, right? Then what I'm going to do here is use the offset command, right? I'm going to exit that command. The offset command looks like the following. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. There's the offset command. It might already be here in your tool set. If not, you can click on offset, or shortcut will be F, right? So what we want to do is hover onto the space, right, on the top aspect of this workbench leg. We're going to click on the space and release. Click and release. And you will see it allows us to pull a parallel offset of that edge we've got inside or outside. So we're basically making a copy and moving it parallel in or out. I'm going to move it in because we know it's going to be in. And have a look at the measurement. It's going to be 20 millimeters in. So we're going to go 20 millimeters in. So I release the mouse now and I type in 20, enter. And now we have a nice offset 20 mils in. Now we know that's not the shape required, because in fact what we have is an L shape. We have 20 in and we have 30 down. It extrudes 30 downward. So what we're going to do to get that L shape is we're going to use our line command. So either you're going to click on the line command or just hit L. And I'm going to join from that point to that point there on the edge. And I'm going to join. I've got to make sure I stay perpendicular. And you'll notice that that line was red and this one is green. That means I'm staying perpendicular and parallel. So I'm going to pull that across to that line on edge. And now you'll see I've got that nice L shape to extrude. Now before we go and extrude that shape, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit E for erase, or hit the rub out command here, erase. And then I'm going to click on those two lines that we do not need anymore. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit push pull again, because we need to extrude this L shape downward 30 millimeters. So I'm going to go P for push pull, or alternatively I'm going to click there and I'm going to click on that area. I'm going to pull down. I'm telling SketchUp I want to extrude downwards or pull downwards, and then I'm going to type in a total of 30. So I've released my mouse, remember I've typed in 30 and enter, and now I have one leg exactly as I need it. Now instead of redrawing this leg so many times, I'm going to copy it. But before I do that, what I want to do is I want to make it a group, because each component of an assembly, so every time you create something that has different parts that you would put together, each part needs to be a different group, otherwise the geometry will merge or glue or connect. And when you want to pull apart the object or the components of the whole object, they will glue and stick together and you'll distort them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to triple click on this, right? I'm going to right click once I've triple clicked, and I'm going to go make a group. Good. Now in order to edit that group, remember the legs need to be red. So I'm going to double click on that group. I'm going to go to materials. I'm going to go to I'm going to go find, and I want to go to colors, and I want a nice red like that. And then I'm just going to, there we go, tip that paint bucket all over that leg, and you'll see now I have a red group being one leg. Now we're going to make 4 copies of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the move command, M, which is this command here, and when I'm going to press Control. Now watch here, when I press Control you'll see a plus sign come up. Now I'm going to select any reference point along on this object. So I'm just going to pull from that point there, and I'm going to pull it across, and you'll see it makes a copy. Now the plus sign has gone away, so it's removed itself. So I'm going to press Control again, because we're still in the move command, and I'm going to click and move over, and one more time Control, and I'm going to click and move over. So now I've created 4 legs that I need for the object, and here I'm going to stop the video as the end of the first part, and we'll move on to the second part, which will be the workbench top.